Hi, everybody. Um, Make sure that my mic is working. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So that live stream that I did yesterday, I'm going to upload it. I need to edit it to change the photo, but those of you who missed it, you can catch it later. But today I'm going to talk about wage slavery, and I was trying to find this video uh, by Noam Chomsky where he explained what wage slavery is. I probably should have waited because I'm not completely prepared. That was not a good thing for me to just rush into it. Um, but basically, he explained that wage slavery came out of chattel slavery. So after chattel slavery, then the slaves were basically forced into Jim Crow. And he explained that the conditions under Jim Crow were actually worse than chattel slavery because the owners had an interest in protecting their property. So the difference between wage slavery and chattel slavery is that under chattel slavery, the master owns you, but in wage slavery, they're basically renting you. So, although we're not under Jim Crow anymore, we're still being rented. Like your masters are your employers. They control when you eat. I mean, they control what clothes you wear, where you can go to the bathroom. They can police your language. They can essentially cancel you. So you're essentially you're a slave to your employer. I mean, you can go get another job, but at the end of the day, what Noam Chomsky said that you're still a slave because you it's a choice between eating and starving. Yeah, I'm not sure. I may post a link later so y'all can come up and add your 2 cents if you want to. But people are in denial. Like not only are they in denial, but they have that same mentality that people had during chattel slavery, which they have more loyalty to their employers than to their co-workers or even to their own selves. Like there are people that come in to work early and work off the clock. I mean, there's somebody who I work with who comes in like sometimes an hour early, 30 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I'm starting when my actual time is to clock in. I'm not working off the clock. I don't know why anybody would volunteer to do that and they just lurk around, hoovering, being annoying, trying to find stuff. They're so anxious to work. I'm like, don't you have anything to do? Like when I go to work, I feel like I'm being disrupted. Like I have things that I need to do. So I'm always rushing. Going to work is the most stressful time of the day for me because I'm usually doing something and then I have to stop and then try to finish it whenever I come back. So I'm not looking forward to going to work. I do it because I have to do it to survive. But some of these people, I don't know what they're doing at home, but they look forward to going to work. Um, and they don't necessarily, it's not even just about the money. They just enjoy being a damn wage slave. Yeah, we're going to get into all of that. I'm trying to give me a second, y'all. I should have waited until I had everything pulled up, but I want to play what Noam Chomsky said about wage slavery. Okay, y'all. This is really raggedy. I can't believe I came up here unprepared like this. But yeah, at the end of it, if y'all want to come up here and talk about it, then we can. Because I'm sure y'all have your own experiences or your own stories to tell. But essentially, that's what we're here for. That's why there's such a push for people to procreate, right? They want us to be slaves. They want to exploit us for cheap labor. And I'm going to be playing this clip about capitalism. It explains that an oversupply of labor leads to depressed wages. This is why I keep talking to y'all, because a lot of people say that overpopulation is a myth. It's not a myth. It's not about land space. It's about quality of life. So there are more people than the capitalists can exploit you for cheap labor because there's more competition. This is also why they want open borders. Okay, y'all. I think I got the clip coming up. Okay, here we go. No, 1 second. That okay, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. This is very raggedy. I can't believe I. Okay, here we go.
For a minute. Almost everybody spends most of their life living in a totalitarian system. It's called having a job. When you have a job, you're under total control of the masters of the enterprise. They determine what you wear, when you go to the bathroom, what you do. The very idea of a wage contract is selling yourself into servitude. These are private governments. They're more totalitarian than governments are.
But they can't legally murder you or imprison you.
They can't legally murder you, but they can control everything that you do. Okay?
Well, again, the right-wing libertarian argument would be, well, you're free to leave at any time.
Yes, you're free to starve. That's exactly right. You have a choice between starving or selling yourself to a tyranny. Very libertarian.
Okay, y'all. So I hope y'all heard that. And although I have played clips from Ayn Rand, and I don't agree with her capitalistic bullshit, because at the end of the day, capitalism is statism. She claims that she's against statism, but what she's essentially saying is that the government is going to give special protection and benefits to corporations, which are fictitious entities, at the expense of actual flesh and blood human beings. So Ayn Rand, I'm going to have to call bullshit on that. I think that is a total contradiction, because corporations, again, they are fictitious entities, so they don't have rights under natural law. Even according to her, natural rights belong to human beings, not group entities. I was just thinking about this yesterday. If we are here for God, why does everything cost money and we have to work every day to survive? Well, that's another theory. We're slaves either way. We're either slaves to God, we're slaves to capitalism, we're slaves to our parents. We're just slaves all the way around. And I mean, it's a procreational Ponzi scheme where you have to continue procreating in order to preserve yourself. So it's one generation of slaves after another. I did it, so I'm going to make my children suffer the same fate that I suffered. Okay, what makes you think you're too good to work a shit job just like I did? We're not going to end this cycle because the current cycle is too fucking selfish to get off the fucking wheel. Just remove the capitalist. Wait a minute. Just remove the capitalist and leave the word system. All systems are slavery. Well, that's the reason why I'm an anarchist, right? Because some people think that, oh, it's just the corporations. No, it's the entire fucking system. And the corporations are just an extension of the actual state. And I'm not sure if y'all understand what I'm saying. When you file for a corporation, you have to pay a filing fee with the government so that they can give you a corporate status. And with that corporate status, you basically get a license to go around exploiting people while being legally protected, because now you're not acting as a flesh and blood human being. You have a layer of protection. There are ways to pierce the corporate veil, meaning you're not acting within the scope of your the purpose of the corporation. But most of the time, as long as you form that corporation for a legal purpose, the individuals that are actually committing the evil are not going to be held liable. So you can go after the corporate assets, but the individual's personal assets are protected. Well, but that okay, so literally under Jim Crow, that is the reason that they were procreating. I mean, it was it was necessary for survival, because if you didn't have children, who were going to take care of you when you were older, right? That's really not the case now. But under Jim Crow, yes, instead of having a system of chattel slavery, you had a system where you were renting yourself. That's essentially what it was. And you could, and it was based on debt, because you would owe a debt to your master that you could never break free from. So you were in a perpetual state of bondage. And people were saying that the conditions under Jim Crow were actually worse than the conditions under chattel slavery. Ultimately, you brought me into life to pay taxes just like you. Yet you and most older, yet you and most older than me hate taxes. I'm not sure that I'm not, okay. Nobody likes paying taxes, but I think people have been conditioned to accept it, because they do accept the authority of the government. Nobody questions it. And this is what Noam Chomsky talks about, that it's a well-oiled machine, because they have it set up to where you have to work so much that you don't have time to sit around thinking about how this system is unfair, how they are enslaving us, and there could be a better way of doing things. No, you're trying to put food on the table and provide for your family. So this is what I'm saying. It's a trap all the way around. Just by procreating, you're making yourself even more enslaved, because now you have a vested interest in perpetuating this system. Now you can't fight against the system. Now I mean, you were already the system's bitch before you had children, but now that you have children, oh, you're definitely the system's bitch, because now the system is going to use the fact that you have children as leverage against you. This is the reason why employers love those who have families, those who are married, right? You're not going to go against them. You got a family to support. You are the system's bitch. And people say, "Oh, well, if you don't have children, you're not providing to society." Actually, you're not contributing. Actually, we are, because most of us, a lot of us who are activists, we can take greater risk. We don't have a family to put at stake. When we suffer the consequences, it just falls on us. What I mean, Malcolm X was the rare exception, because he said that um, if he wasn't fighting against the system, his family couldn't look him in the eye, or whatever. His children couldn't look up to him unless he stood up for himself as a man. But usually, when people have families, it's all their lives are dedicated to their families only, and they don't actually contribute to society. They don't take any risk. They don't even really, they're not even altruistic, which I'm not in support of altruism, because now their entire lives becomes about their own families and not contributing to society. And in fact, they're more likely to take. They're saying, "Oh, I got 5 kids to feed. Can you help me?" So they're not contributing to society most of the time, unless they're wealthy. But if they're just middle class or low class, no, they're not contributing to society. They're taking. My bio parents always say low income people shouldn't be having kids, while they had me when they were on government handouts. So they're the biggest hypocrites. Um, I don't know. I mean, of course they are hypocrites, but at the same time, we need to stop berating those who get so-called government handouts, because at the end of the day, the corporations are the ones getting the biggest handouts, the bailouts and shit, and they're enslaving us all. So I hate to say this, because a this is a complete contradiction to the way that I used to see things. The people who are sitting at home on welfare, they're the smart ones. We're the dumbasses that are going to work every day. I mean, if I could figure a way to sit on my ass and eat bonbons and shit, I don't have any fucking children, but and I'm not going to. But yeah, that's actually smarter because if I could sit at home and just read books and shit, I would figure out a way to escape this capitalistic bullshit. Yeah, they're going to find out, and they're going to find out sooner rather than later because this fucking economy is about to fucking collapse, and they're going to see just how they fuck their children over by breeding their children into this fucked up system. And it's going to be even more exploitive than it is right now, especially when AI start replacing your non-essential ass and your children who have no fucking purpose, but you decided to have them anyway because you didn't give a fuck. I hate putting on a fucking. I have to wear a suit, but I hate it. Right? It's so stressful. I gotta make sure my tie is right and all that shit, and then I shave in the morning. So when I shave, sometimes I cut myself, and then like there may be blood on the collar and shit, and I gotta change it, and it's just it's so fucking pointless. Why am I doing this? Like, I mean, my parents really fucked me over, really, just to be a fucking bitch to a fucking corporation, but I have to do it to survive. And of course, they're going to say, "Don't delete yourself. Your life serves purpose. All these people would really miss you." Right? They don't think about the fact that you're miserable. This is a routine that you have to do every fucking day. Go work some fucking shitty job, put on a fucking fake smile to because everybody else is feeding off your energy, and if you don't smile, then they can't feel good about themselves. So your role is to hold everybody else up because it's a fucking procreational Ponzi scheme where they're a bunch of fucking cannibals that just fucking feed off each other, fucking useless pieces of shit that are selling their own fucking children into this fucking capitalistic slavery bullshit. Oh, y'all. Okay, y'all. I wasn't expecting to have so many comments because usually when I get into this shit, um, I guess I chose the right time. Right, and I would like to do intermediate fasting too, but because I work all the time, actually, the longest period of time I've ever fasted was 3 days, and that was when I was a Christian, and that was when I was in the military. But I had 3 days off, so I pretty much just stayed in the barracks, and I didn't have to work. But yeah, everybody thought I had an eating disorder because I was fasting and shit. But I was a Christian back then, and I took it seriously. So I actually lived up to it, unlike these hypocrites that go around calling themselves Christian. I don't see any of these Christians fucking fasting. I don't see them tithing. I don't see them doing anything that is going to cause them any type of inconvenience. All they're doing is sitting on their asses praying to Jesus like Jesus is fucking Santa Claus and going around judging everybody else. Well, they're not living up to it. Fucking fake ass Christian, you lukewarm, fake ass Christians. You're going to hell with everyone else if hell actually exists. We are also slaves to our bodies. If you go off the grid, you still need to work, slave the toil, slave the soil to grow food, prepare food, eat the food. Yeah, I was just talking about this with somebody at work because she was saying um that I'm enslaved because I choose to be a slave because I could just go live in the mountains and whatever. And it's like, first of all, they set you up because you don't have any basic survival skills. So you don't know how to provide for yourself without relying on a system. I mean, and your parents fucked you over because they didn't provide you with any fucking survival skills. So again, when this fucking US dollar collapses and we're forced to fend for ourselves, they're going to be scrambling. I mean, all these dumbasses are talking about how they're saving water or storing water and they got their canned goods and their fucking peanut butter and shit. and they got guns. I mean, you watch all these fucking zombie movies. You think your fucking guns are going to stop all these people? Yeah, you may be able to shoot 5 people, but what about the rest of them? Somebody is getting to your fucking house and they're going to raid all this shit that you fucking stored so that they can feed their families because they didn't prepare for the shit. And you are still a fucking dumbass because you decided to continue pumping more children into this fucking bullshit system. So don't think that just because you stored up some water that you're special. No, you're a fucking dumbass because you decided to procreate. I'm sorry. You know what? I have to remember that some of the anti-natalists were not. I'm sorry. I apologize. I keep forgetting that some of y'all actually have children and that you were brought into anti-natalism later. So I don't mean to offend you. It's never too late to learn. I apologize, but I'm really talking about those who are unrepentant breeders, the fucking reptilian brain idiots who are who are motivated based on their physiological needs, the need for food, shelter, procreation. They're anti-intellectual. So yeah, I'm sorry that you already have children. There's nothing that can be done about that, but at least you acknowledge the fact that what you did was harmful to your children. And I mean, you can't make up for it, but the problem with most parents is that they think that they did something good for their children. They feel entitled. It's this honor thy father and thy mother bullshit. They think that you owe them something, even though you didn't choose any of this, and they feel arrogant. They feel that you're ungrateful if you don't worship them and praise them for breeding you into hell and whatever sacrifices they voluntarily chose to undertake. So yeah, if you're not one of those type of parents, like I said in one of my live streams, I would forgive my parents if they would stop thinking that I owe them something. If they stop thinking that I should sacrifice my life to make them happy. If they would stop feeling entitled and stop trying to fucking control me like I'm their fucking slave. I'm not your fucking slave. I'm emancipated. I wish I could have gotten emancipated at the fucking age of 16, but I'm emancipated now. Well, not completely, because I'm still a fucking slave to this corporatist status bullshit. So I'm not completely free, but I'm at least free from them. And I also freed myself from that fucking slave religion Christian bullshit that I was indoctrinated with as a child. So I'm about 1/3. I'm 1/3 into being a sovereign person, but the 2/3 of it is still the fucking government and the fucking corporation. So, yeah, yeah, I don't know what to do about that because so many people are fucking cowards. They don't want to do anything about it. So because they want to be fucking stupid ass, dumb, worthless slaves, I have to be a fucking slave too. I would love to fight against the system, but they are fucking cowards and they are fucking mentally enslaved and they love this fucking shit. They love working for some fucking capitalist slaver just so they can go sit at home and fucking play an Xbox or shit to fucking escape from the fact that their lives have no fucking meaning. And then they can fucking pop out some more fucking children and then go around shaming gay people for not procreating so that they can produce more slaves like their fucking retarded fucking asses. Okay, y'all. I have so many comments. I'm like way off. I wanted to respond to some of these comments, but I don't know. I think I'm too far gone at this point. Yeah, I don't even have a problem with welfare. We're not. I mean, it's cowardly to blame the individual who's on welfare instead of going after the system. They set this shit up for a reason. The reason that they put these people on fucking welfare is because they want them to sit on their asses and fucking pop out some more slaves for this fucking system. So it's not, well, it is their fault in the sense that they should fucking wake up and see what they're doing to their children. But I mean, it is what it is. You can be fucking dumb and pop out some more fucking slaves. I'm not fucking doing it. Yeah, I am honest, and that's why some little bitch decided to report me and have my channel suspended. But it is what it is. I know there's certain things that I can't talk about. Um, I mean, a so-called free society is dependent upon having an informed electorate. So if you don't know what the fuck is going on, and the mainstream media is keeping information from you, and then we're not allowed to talk about it on social media either, how are we supposed to have an informed electorate? This is what I'm talking about. It's the system based on the citizens enslaving the other citizens. It's a well-oiled machine. They're the ones who are fucking the slavers, right? We can say that we can blame the people at the top, but it's the people at the bottom that are fucking this 1984. I'm going to report you to the fucking man and fucking pop out more fucking slaves for the system. They are the fucking slavers. No, I don't plan on growing old. I feel like I'm already past my expiration. I should, when I had that fucking car accident, that was my time to go. I feel like I'm, the Walking Dead at this point. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say too much about it because somebody will fucking report me, but, yeah, I do not plan on growing old. I want to live long enough to see this fucking economy collapse and see these people getting their just desserts. And once I'm satisfied to see that these dumbasses have suffered enough after they have raised hell for everybody else and destroyed my fucking life, then I'll be satisfied and then I can make my graceful exit. Yes, the black community is really going to get it hard because black people have decided to render themselves completely dependent on the system which they complain about so much. They don't want to become self sufficient. They all want to crowd into these major cities where they got to shop at grocery stores. We don't hunt. We don't grow our own food. We don't know how to purify water. And that's fine. If you don't want to be self sufficient, you can do that all day long. But why are you fucking popping out more children who you cannot protect or provide for? It's fucking pathetic. And then you want to shame people because they don't want to have children and say, oh, well, that is the purpose of life. Biology, or procreation is biology. Life wants life. You fucking dumbass. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I know that I'm direct, but sometimes I put my foot in my mouth because I just say it, as it is, and I don't really think about offending people. But and I told y'all I'm schizoid, right? Not schizophrenic. I'm schizoid. I'm an introvert, so I don't think about the external world. I'm more introspective. So I say this is why when I'm at work and everywhere else, I keep my mouth shut because I already know if I say what I really think, I'm going to offend people, but I don't do it on purpose. It's the unrepentant breeders that are the problem. Those that came to antinatalism after having kids get a pass because at least they realize. Right, they're unrepentant. They're reptilian brain, unrepentant breeders. It's fucking pathetic. And um, I mean, if you listen to that live, okay, y'all, I would say listen to it, but I took it down because I need to edit it. But listen to that live stream that I did yesterday because Jordan Peterson is an unrepentant breeder. Shame, shame, shame. Oh, thank you for coming here. I appreciate it. You know what? I lose subscribers because I'm not walking the line that these other people have to find. But in that last live stream, David Benatar explained what antinatalism is, and they're saying I'm not a real antinatalist because I'm not vegan and I don't do things the way that they do, which have nothing to do with antinatal. I'm not saying, okay, I'm not going to say it has nothing to do with antinatal. You can expound on it. You can extrapolate that based on the fact that we're not procreating, that applies to other things. But you can do that with everything else. When David Benatar explained what antinatalism is, that is the definition that I'm following. I read the fucking book. They didn't. They don't know what the fuck antinatalism is. I mean, they know at the basic level, which is fine. You're not procreating, but you don't get to tell me that I need to have these additional requirements to it, which David Benatar never put these parameters on it. I mean, you're going to sit up here. First of all, you haven't read David Benatar's book, and you damn sure didn't read Arthur Schopenhauer's book, because Arthur Schopenhauer didn't follow any of this bullshit that y'all are adding. So, I mean, although David Benatar is the one who coined antinatalism, I'm more of a proponent of Arthur Schopenhauer's view on pessimism, and David Benatar's antinatalism is just an extension of it. So, Arthur Schopenhauer wasn't a vegan. He acknowledged the fact that human existence does cause the suffering of animals, but he's saying that is the reason why we shouldn't procreate. It's the will. The will is the problem, and you have to resist the will. So just by making this incremental bullshit that is going to make you feel better, only thing that's going to do is justify procreating. And then the animals are going to suffer even more. But we don't need to talk about that. Because again, I know some little whiny ass snowflakey bitch is going to unsubscribe, and I see it. I look at my numbers every day. I see that one of these fucking snowflakes unsubscribe, and I'm telling you, you should fucking unsubscribe. I'm going to offend you. I'm not walking on eggshells anymore. I did that shit for fucking 2 years because I didn't want to lose subscribers, but now I don't fucking give a fuck. I'm not here to collar you and worry about your fucking feelings. We don't have a lot of time before this fucking economy collapses. I need to fucking get to the damn point, right? I'm not here to feed you bullshit, because when this fucking economy collapses and you're fucking struggling to survive, you're not going to have time to be worrying about whether some fucking food is vegan or not. It's survival of the fucking fittest. Eat whatever you fucking have to eat. I mean, I don't even eat pork, but I'm sure when this fucking economy collapses, I'm going to be eating some fucking swine, some fucking maggot-filled disgusting bullshit, until I can see the rest of these motherfuckers suffer, and then I'm going to fucking be put out of my fucking misery. So it is what it is. Well, you shouldn't have to destroy yourself. You shouldn't have to delete yourself. Your fucking parents did this to you. The shame goes on them. The burden is on them. The onus is on them. It's not your fault. It's not your responsibility. They can try to shame you and say, oh, well, if you don't want to be here, then you should delete yourself. But they're not going to tell you how to do it. And at the same time, paradoxically, they're going to criminalize euthanasia and brainwash you to say that you're going to go to hell if you delete yourself. They're going to erect every barrier possible to prevent you from deleting yourself, and then still maintain that it's your fault for not doing it. Well, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about these fucking people in Uganda who are trying, or they passed this law to criminalize homosexuality, which was already criminal, but now they created greater penalties to where you can be in prison for like 30 years or some shit, or you can receive a death penalty. No, there's a possibility of lifetime imprisonment and a death penalty just for being fucking gay. Because at the end of the day, they need more slaves for this fucking capitalistic bullshit system. And that is the only reason that they're trying to round up gays like the fucking Holocaust and fucking put them to fucking death. These fucking cannibalistic savages. And I'm sorry, there are black people who are saying that I shouldn't be calling black people savages, that it is what it is. If you're going to kill your own fucking people, you are a fucking savage, and you're not pro-black, and I'm going to call it as it is. You're a fucking savage. I don't even see you as a fucking human being. We need, as I said in one of my other live streams, the fucking white, America needs to fucking bomb the shit out of fucking Uganda and put white people back in charge so they can have some fucking civility going on, because this savagery bullshit needs to fucking end. We need to fucking save these fucking gay people who are fucking being oppressed so they can pump out more fucking slaves for this bullshit system. Yeah, I feel like The Walking Dead too. And the problem is that when you go to work, you're forced to put on a fucking fake. They want you to make them feel good. Imagine you in a legitimate court of law, clearly not happening at all, funny, not funny, boo, I'm freaking done. Yeah, you should actually see me in court, because the problem is that I'm actually arguing the law, right? The law that they fucking gave it. This is the reason I'm an anarchist, because these laws are fucking bullshit, right? I stand up in court, I do my research and tell you, this is what the law says, and they fucking disregard the law and do whatever the fuck they want because it's politically expedient. They don't give a fuck about the law. They're going to fuck you over. Might makes right. We have the fucking guns. We have a monopoly on the use of physical force. We're going to do whatever the fuck we want to do. And for those of you who have not litigated cases, you don't know what I'm talking about. All the attorneys know what I'm talking about. They know good and damn well that these fucking bullshit, they're not even legitimate courts. So yeah, they're not legitimate. These are fucking kangaroo courts. They don't fucking follow the law. You think that you think you're gonna learn a law so that you can have some type of protection so you can defend yourself from this fucking bullshit system. It's not a fucking defense because they don't fucking uphold this shit. They're allying with the fucking capitalists. They're here to enslave you. It's a fucking dog and pony show. You can go and argue the law in a fucking court of law and all day long. There are all kinds of mechanisms that they have to evade following the fucking law. They can issue unpublished opinions. They can issue summary judgment to avoid giving you a jury trial. They can deny you a fucking appeal. This is another. I thought I saw all their fucking tricks, but no, they can actually deny you a fucking appeal, which I didn't even know they could do that shit. That shit just happened to me last year. Yes, they can deny you a fucking appeal, which I didn't know they could do that. Only low IQ, lonely, bored to death, cowardly. I don't Mango. I don't even know how to pronounce that word, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. um, yeah, well, misery loves company, so that. How else are you going to justify your existence? The reason why and they say that we're miserable and we just need counseling, we just need help, right? Because their children are going to bring them joy. Really, their children are only going to bring them joy while they're young, while they're cute little mini me's, and they can control them like the fucking narcissists that they are. Then their children are going to bring them joy. But once they actually become individualized, the individuation process, which Carl Jung described, is when the child develops his or her own identity apart from its mother. That's when it becomes a problem. Now the child has his own wants, needs, and desires. Now the child is a burden because they're not serving the interests of their fucking slaver parents. Yeah, well, apparently his daughter is the one who told him to try that carnivore diet because he was depressed, and that carnivore diet, he said that it helped him. I mean, a lot of it is just hormonal and shit. You're going to, um, there's hormonal disruptors and a lot of plants. So, I mean, I'm not the expert on it. As I discover more or acquire more knowledge, then I reveal it. So, a lot of times when I do these videos, it's because I just learned something. It's not like I already knew it. I don't know that Ugandans are Muslim. I think some of them are Christian, and yeah, some of them are Muslim, but they're all following the Abrahamic religions, which they're trying to say that they're trying to act like they're the victim. They're trying to say that the West, you know, the white man is trying to force homosexuality on them. But no, you fucking dumbasses. It's the homophobia which came from the white man. You fucking dumbasses. And now again, okay, y'all. Some of the stuff I'm saying because I'm streaming on both of my channels. I'm not trying to say this for the anti-nailist channel because we're a mixed company stuff. So when I'm talking to a black audience, I'm probably going to be harsher. But I don't, you know, I'm not trying to make the black community look bad. So I'm going to try to hold back on some of my criticisms because I'm not trying to. But at the end of the day, they are promoting white supremacy, and they don't even fucking realize it. Homophobia is white supremacy. All you're doing is creating more fucking slaves for the system which you complain about. You fucking dumbasses. Okay, y'all. I think I got most of the comments. Well, but the but gays are a threat to the system because we're not procreating, and that's ultimately the problem. So we already know that the predators of the world are usually not gay. I mean the ones who rape women, who oppress women, the ones who exploit and want to dominate. That's a pathology of a heterosexual. And I'm not trying to bash heterosexuals, but I'm just trying to say when you subscribe to that pathology, it's about dominance. And I don't think gays are trying to dominate anybody. I mean, maybe sexually, but outside of the bedroom is more egalitarian. Okay, I'm not sure what the word is, but it's AOC explained it. I don't know. Okay, I don't really want to, but AOC explained it better than I can. But it's a pathology. It's about domination. It's not the dynamic between men and women has never been egalitarian. It's always been patriarchal about dominating women. So, I mean, I don't know if you're non-binary or what, but I'm just talking about the traditional dynamics between men and women. It's not egalitarian. Yes, black people need to be called out. I just don't want to do it on. I do it on my other channel, but I'm not going to do it when I'm streaming on both channels because I feel like it's inappropriate. Well, that's what AOC was talking about. But that's another day, another time.